Do you remember the last time a team not called Bangladesh or Zimbabwe went 10 straight tests at home without a win? You probably don't, because it's not even happened in the 21st century until now. That's right, New Zealand in the mid 90s were the last team to go more than 10 matches without winning on home soil in a men's test, and Pakistan have matched that dubious distinction after their latest defeat, a 2-0 series defeat, a historic win for Bangladesh in Pakistan. Now, it's not like it's just a home issue for Pakistan, because if you look at tests since the start of 2022, they played 17 and won only 3, all 3 against Sri Lanka, and that means that in terms of a win-loss ratio in these last nearly 3 years, the only teams who've done worse are Afghanistan and Zimbabwe, and both of them have played only 3 tests in this period. Now, it's not like it's a new issue either, because let's go further back by 5 more years, and since the start of 2017, Pakistan have played 52 tests, won 18 and lost 26. That win-loss ratio of less than 0.7 is better only than West Indies, Afghanistan, Zimbabwe, Bangladesh and Ireland if you look at the last 7.5 years of men's tests. Curiously, this slide began right after Pakistan reached the absolute peak of test match cricket, because as recently as mid-2016, Pakistan became number 1 in the ICC test rankings for the first time. That came after a period of 6 years where they were winning more than they were losing, where they were registering famous victories even away from home. And yet look at the years immediately after that 6-year spell, and things have really fallen off a cliff for Pakistan. So why have things gone so pear-shaped? If you examine the batting, and I know it gets a lot of eyebrows, especially one particular Babar Azam, but in terms of numbers, they haven't been so bad since 2022. Their averages, in fact, for both the top order and the middle order are among the top 3 or top 4 among test-playing nations in this period. Now, they have been helped by the fact that 10 of the 17 tests they've played since 2022 have been played at home, a lot of which are played on tracks which are very kindly referred to as roads. They've also played 3 tests in Australia, which weren't as challenging for batters, and the rest of their tests have come in Sri Lanka. But what these 17 tests have done have exposed the lack of teeth in Pakistan's bowling. Spin has been an issue for a while. You could argue they have never managed to find a successor to Yasir Shah, and in this period, over the last 3 years, only Afghanistan and Ireland spinners average worse than Pakistan's in tests. But the big problem is the place where Pakistan have prided themselves for years. The pace attack for Pakistan reads among the worst in the business since 2022. You heard that right. In the last 3 years, Pakistan's pacers average 37.9. They take nearly 66 balls per wicket, and among them, all their pacers have combined to take 3 5-wicket hauls. Only Afghanistan's pacers have a worse average, only Zimbabwe's pacers have a worse strike rate, and only just at that, and only Afghanistan, Ireland and Zimbabwe have fewer fifers from their pacers than Pakistan. Both of these issues came to the fore in these 2 tests in Rawalpindi. In Game 1, Pakistan went without a spinner and saw Bangladesh's spinners turn the game on its head in the second innings. In Game 2, while Bangladesh's pacers, 2 of whom had only 4 tests between them coming into it, turned the contest on its head again in the second innings, you saw Pakistan's quicks unable to assert the pressure after having Bangladesh on the mat at 26 for 6. 26 for 6. 25 years after stitching their own famous recovery from that same score, Pakistan have come at the other end of the spectrum to plummet to what can arguably be considered the lowest ebb in their test history.